deformed.
My name is Tony Thomas, and you're watching Hardwired Exotics on YouTube.
What's going on? So,
What's up?
got some bad news.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on this side of the camera for this. I don't wanna cry in front of everybody.
So, Craig had a not so good clutch again. So this is probably one of the worst years that Craig has ever had, which happens to be his second year.
Second year.
I'm not really sure what's going on. Unfortunately, it just happens, and that I want to bring this point up before we get into looking at these snakes. I hear a lot of people about they want to do this full time. You know, I want to breed snakes full time. I want to breed animals full time. I want to breed reptiles full time. I want it to be my job. That pays that can cost you a lot of money. It can cost you a lot of heartache, a lot of stress, and it can also cost you your life. And by that, I mean not like physically you dying, but your life as in if you put everything you have into this business and have a really bad year, you can lose everything that you had because you didn't make any babies. And people don't think about that. They think that everything is going to be fine. Oh, I'm going to produce, X amount of clutches every year. It just doesn't always play like that. Craig's produced. How many clutches have you produced this year?
I think this would be the 4th clutch I produced this year.
And we were expecting 30.
Yes, we were expecting 30, and it just didn't happen.
And it just didn't happen. And we don't know why. And even out of those 4, only 1 clutch really thrived.
That's right.
So
it is what it is.
Something to think about. It sucks. It freaking really sucks. And unfortunately, it's a part of this business. But when you have all your bad odds happen in 1 year, it can really, really ruin you. So just something to think about. I'm not trying to deter you from doing it. I'm just trying to let you know that this is real. This is what happens. This is what can happen, and be prepared.
That's right. We're just keeping it real over here.
All right. So
let's see how this new camera works with. Well, I'm 6 feet away now. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Gotcha. So the pairing on this clutch was GHI Trick Het Hypo to GHI Het Hypo. There were 7 snakes, or 7 eggs that turned into egg. 7 eggs turned into snakes, and unfortunately we didn't get any hypos. So I'm not really sure if we were sold something as Het Hypo that wasn't Het Hypo, or if we just got horrible odds again. So not really sure on that. We'll try to prove out Mom and Dad again next year. But let's if you don't like seeing deformed animals, then I suggest you turn the channel. These aren't horribly deformed. They're all probably going to live, but if that's not your nature and the stuff you don't want to see, then probably don't need to watch this any longer. So
You have been warned.
all right.
Which one are we going to start with?
So let's start with probably the worst one. What we have is a GHI. I'm not sure on trick on any of these. I really haven't even tried to ID them or shown them to anybody, just simply because I'm more worried about the health of the animal, and if they're not going to thrive and live and be placed, somewhere, then there's no point in even worrying about the genetics on the animals. So I'm not even going to get into IDing these, but I'm assuming that this is going to be GHI and possibly trick, but more so what we're concerned about is the kink on the tail. So most of these have some form of kink in the tail area. This particular one is the only one in the clutch that has some eye issues, I think. I'm not really sure what's going on with the eyes here. I'm going to assume that it's probably blind. Not really sure. It looks like, it probably looks like on camera like there's still the eye cap from a shed on the eye, but that's not what it is. It hatched and had issues. Right after it hatched, I could tell it had messed up eyes, and I really haven't looked at it too much.
You mean I made a snake with messed up eyes? Okay. All right, there we go. We gotta have some humor, guys. It can't all be serious.
So, that's probably one of the worst ones. There were 2 super GHI in the clutch. Again, I'm not sure on the trick part of this. This is probably the only one that I'm worried about not living, simply because it has a kink. And you probably can't even see it, but right here in the back of the head, right in the beginning of the neck, there's a pretty bad kink. And then the belly did not heal correctly from the umbilical cord.
And a lot of y'all don't know snakes do have belly buttons.
They do. So this is probably the one that I'm worried about the most, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be okay. The other super GHI, these look different, so I'm going to assume one of them's trick and one of them's not, but I really haven't paid enough attention to know. This one has a pretty severe kink on the tail, which is not going to be life-threatening for the animal. And it did not have a healing process to go very well for the umbilical cord. I have seen this before, and usually does heal up okay in another shed or 2. So I don't think it's going to be anything life-threatening on this guy. But really cool. I really like the GHI. I mean the super GHI.
He turned out very pretty.
Yep.
This will be my first super GHI that I produced.
And if it's trick, we'll probably just end up keeping him here, and Craig can use him later on if everything goes okay. Again, this is not anything that's going to be genetic. This is all going to be an incubation issue.
And just with a tail kink like that, pinky's up, it is what it is.
Yep. I actually have a breeder female that has a kink like this, and she's never passed it down. So, and that small tail kink happens quite often in ball pythons when there's an incubation issue. So
I had my first clutch. I had one with a nubby butt.
Yep.
Yeah, nubby butt. Looks like she had a little thumb on her butt. Yeah. So that's nothing too bad. That's like the equivalent to somebody having a funky earlobe or something.
Or a funky eye.
Or a funky eye. Not that we know anybody like that.
Alright, so the last one that has any issues is going to be this one. This is a little girl. And hers is very, very, very minimal. The only thing that she has issue with is going to be her tail. And it's not even like really a kink. It's
just curved up.
It doesn't. It's not hard like the other one.
She's fancy.
So anyway, you probably wouldn't even really notice that too much, other than the fact that she curls it up. But it will lay flat and just curls itself back up. So Craig might end up just keeping this grower. So we'll see.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with them, really, honestly. But for a pet, pet standard stuff, that's completely fine for me. But it does happen. And I'm told them when I got here, I said I'm not afraid to show people when bad things happen.
No,
like I said, it can't all be sunshine and rainbows.
Nope. And Craig's just having a horrible year. And lucky enough for Craig, he doesn't depend on this for a living.
That's right. This is my hobby.
If this happened to me, and say we had 40 clutches and 30 of them were deformed, I would be looking for yet another job because I would have to have some means of form to take care of all these animals and be able to feed my family.
That's right. So mainly we just want to make sure that people don't just jump into this expecting, I can make this much money. You can, but
it's a gamble.
It's a gamble. It's just like anything. That little snake right there, it could be worth $1,000. It could be worth $100. You never know. And it could be worth $50. You don't know.
So, on the positive note, this little girl, which is, they're all GHI or super GHI, this little girl is perfectly fine. So, she will be made available when she's had the appropriate amount of meals. She looks great. Just a nice looking GHI, possible trick here. And I'm sure she'll do fine.
Just real clean.
Yep. And the last two,
a rare,
just a hidden gene
GHI cocoa snake.
So these last two are males. Both of these will be available as soon as they have enough meals. They are perfectly fine, no kinks, no issues.
We're just trying to figure out if they got trick in them right now.
And I'm going to assume that one of these is probably trick and one of them's not, just because they look way different from each other. So
with the GHI, the way it does, it makes it a little difficult to see the trick sometimes.
Yeah, both of them are heavy pattern mutators, so put them together really changes things up.
I had to call in the experts.
Yeah, so not sure which, but one of these is probably trick, and both of them will be available soon.
So that's some positivity out of it.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yep. So Craig ended up with 7 snakes. 4 of them are deformed, and 3 of them are okay, so those 3 are going to be available. And 2 out of those 4 are actually target animals for Craig to have hit, so we may even just be keeping 2 of those 4. And the other 2, if they do good, we'll make sure they find a good home.
That's right.
So, but anyway, just wanted to show you that. That's the realism of breeding and doing what we do. And think about it before you jump into this as something that you want to do full time, because it can be quite devastating at times. So even this year, I think I produced a little over 30 clutches, and I knew I was going to have a slow season. I didn't really pair much, but I had way less than what I thought I was going to have too. So it's just the way it goes. So, Craig, anything else you want to say?
No. Like, comment, subscribe.
There you go. See y'all.
Thanks for watching Hardwired Exotics, and make sure you subscribe. Bye!